Welcome to the deep dive into AWS CloudShell session. Before we begin the session, let me give a quick intro about me. Myself, Makendran. I am a multi-cloud certified and having 7 AWS batches. I am a AWS community builder focusing on cloud operations. I am a technical blogger in dev community, Hashnode and Medium. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn URL have been given below. And also you can scan the QR code to see the bio link of mine. Now let's see the agenda for this session. Introduction to AWS CloudShell, AWS CloudShell features, pricing and demo, and then followed by that we will see security best practices for AWS CloudShell. Introduction to AWS CloudShell. AWS CloudShell is a browser-based pre-authenticated shell that you can launch directly from the AWS Management Console. You can run AWS CLI command against AWS services using your preferred shell like Bash, PowerShell, or Z shell. And you can do this without needing to download or install command line tools. How it works. So AWS CloudShell is a browser-based shell that makes it easy to securely manage, explore, and interact with your AWS resources. CloudShell is pre-authenticated with your console credentials. Common development and operation tools are all pre-installed, so no local installation configurations are required. So with the CloudShell, you can quickly run scripts with the AWS CLI tool or experiment with AWS Service APIs using AWS SDKs or use a range of other tools to be productive. When you launch AWS CloudShell, a compute environment that is based on Amazon Linux 2 is created. Within this environment, you have access to an extensive range of pre-installed development tools, options like uploading and downloading files, and file storage that passes between the sessions. Now let's see what are the features of AWS CloudShell. First one is AWS command line interface. Yes, you launch a AWS CloudShell from the AWS Management Console, and the AWS credential you use to sign into the console are automatically available in a new shell session. This pre-authentication of AWS CloudShell users allow you to skip configuring credentials when interacting with AWS services using AWS CLI. Next is shell and development tools. With the shell that is created for AWS CloudShell session, you can switch seamlessly between your preferred command line shells. More specifically, you can switch between Bash, PowerShell, and Z shell. You also have access to pre-installed tools and utilities such as Git, pip, sudo, tar, vim, wget, and zip as well. The next one is the persistent storage. In the AWS CloudShell, you have a persistent storage of 1 GB for each AWS region at no additional cost. The persistent storage is located in your home directory called $home. In there, you will be having all the files will be located, and it is private to you. Unlike ephemeral environment resources that are recycled after each shell session ends, data in your home directory persists between the sessions. Next is the security. AWS CloudShell environment and its users are protected by specific security features such as permission management with IAM, shell session management, and then safe paste for text input. So administrators can grant and deny permission to AWS CloudShell users using IAM policies. Administrators can also create the policies to be more granular access so that particular actions alone can be performed by the users within the shell environment. And then shell session management. Inactive and long-running sessions are automatically stopped and recycled. And then safe paste for text input. That is enabled by default. So the safe paste is a security feature that asks you to verify that multi-line text that you are about to paste into the shell doesn't contain malicious script, so that it will be more safe when you are copy pasting any script from the external resources. Customization options. Your AWS CloudShell experience can be customized by changing the screen layouts, we have multiple tabs, split tabs as well, and also text sizes. There are almost 5 font sizes are available. You can choose any one option with the text size, and also we have theme as well. There are 2 themes. One is a light as well as dark. Now we will see what are all the benefits of using AWS CloudShell. First one is no extra credentials to be managed. That is, it inherits the credentials of the user signed into the AWS management console. So there is no need to spend extra effort managing credentials locally. And second is automatically updated. That means CloudShell provides a fully managed Amazon Linux environment that has the recent versions of popular tools already installed and updated. So you don't need to patch the environment or update the pre-installed tools. And third one is a no cost. So CloudShell provides you with a browser-based shell to run scripts and commands. It includes 1 GB of persistent storage per region at no extra cost to you. You only pay for the AWS resource you use with CloudShell to create and run your applications. And the last one is the customizable. With 1 GB of persistent storage per region, you can store scripts, files, configuration preferences, and additional tools in your home directory. You can begin working immediately without customizing your environment every time you use the shell. Now, let's see the pricing of AWS CloudShell. AWS CloudShell is an AWS service that you can use at no additional cost. And then you pay for all the AWS services you run within the AWS CloudShell. Let's start the demo for AWS CloudShell. So once you're logged into the AWS management console, you will see the icon for to launch the AWS CloudShell from the home page. So you can click on the CloudShell icon. So it will be getting launched in the region from where you have been in from the console. Like I am in the US East 1 North Virginia. So it have launched the session from US East 1. So let's see under which directory I got launched. So to get to see that, you can issue the command pwd. So I'm in the home directory under the CloudShell user. Now let's explore what are all the options available here. Under the actions, you can see there are 3 options for the tab layout. So if I give new tab, it will open a new tab with the terminal console. And if I give split into rows, so in a single page, you will get it in 2 rows, it will be getting divided. And if I do split into columns in this window, it will get split into 2 columns. So if I don't want these things, I can just close these things by clicking this cross icon. And under the actions, there are 2 options are available to upload a file or download a file. Upload file, like if you want to upload any file from local to AWS CloudShell, you can use the upload file option. And to download from the CloudShell, if you want to download any files, that download file option you can use. And if I give restart AWS CloudShell, that option will be used like post after some 20 minutes, the CloudShell will be automatically end. So at that time, if you give restart AWS CloudShell, a new session will be getting launched. And then the last option is delete AWS CloudShell home directory. So if you are having large number of files that are not used, then you can give delete AWS CloudShell delete home directory, so that it will delete all the existing files under the home directory. And then if you click on settings icon, preference icon, you can see there are 5 font size available. So currently I am in the large font size. So if you want to reduce under the small or smallest, it will be getting reduced. The text size will be very much less. So I'm just changing it to large. And we have 2 themes are available under for AWS CloudShell. One is light and another is dark. So I can give light. If I give light, it will change into white background. And if I give dark, it will become under black. And also, if you see, as per the security best practices in AWS CloudShell, we need to enable safe pay so that it will identify any malicious script that we are going to copy from the external sources. So the best practice is like enabling safe page in AWS CloudShell. So now explore into the AWS CloudShell. So currently I'm going to create a new file, a sample Python file, which will perform addition of 2 numbers. So finally, I'm just printing the sum of both the numbers. I'm just saving by giving WQ exclamation. So just I'm confirming whether all the file, all the content which I pasted, which I given in add program, is it exist or not. So it is there. Now I'm going to create a new directory. So now I am just moving my files to this specific directory by giving mv command. Now I am moving into the directory. By giving ls, I will see whether the file has been moved to the specific directory or not. So it has been moved. Now let's try to edit this particular file. Add another variable to it. Let's verify whether the added things are has been added or not into the file. Okay, great, this is added. Now let's run the Python script by giving Python 3 and the file name and then the input. Okay, we got it. So basically the program which I written is like it will add the three numbers by passing three inputs. So I have given 4, 5, 6. So the sum is 15. Now let's use the AWS CLI to add the file as an object in Amazon S3. So first I will create an S3 bucket. So I need to give a unique S3 bucket name. So and then I need to give the which region the bucket should deploy. Okay, I think I missed the R. Let's add it. AWS API create bucket and then okay. I missed the parameter hyphen bucket. Let me add it. Okay, now S3 bucket has been added. Say S3 bucket has been created. Now let's upload our Python file to the S3 bucket. By using put object. So this is the command like to upload the object from AWS CloudShell to S3 bucket. Okay, I have given space in the command. Yeah, so it will give an e tag. So this is the response once the file has been uploaded to the S3 bucket. So e tag is like a hash of the object that is being stored. So it is used to check the integrity of the object uploaded to Amazon S3. So this is one part of the demo I was expecting to show to you about the use of AWS CloudShell, and also I'm going to show how to use CodeCommit in AWS CloudShell. So first I will create a AWS CodeCommit repository. So I'm giving my repository name as my demo repo. And I'm giving the repository description as well. So AWS CodeCommit, create repository name, and then remote repository description. So it will create a new repository for us. So it has been created. Now we will create a new directory so that from the directory we will try to push the file to AWS CodeCommit repository. So for that I'm creating a new directory. So I'm changing the directory to my shell repo. And then I'm going to clone my CodeCommit repository, which I just now created. As the repository currently it is empty, it will show a warning for us now. Now we will clone the CodeCommit repository which was just created now. Git clone CodeCommit : US east 1 and then our repository name. So as we are having an empty repository, it is showing a warning for us. So no issues on that. So we can go change the directory to my demo repo. And I am just creating an empty file. Now I am adding that file. To stage my file in the repository, I'm just giving git add my git file. And I'm just going to check the status. To see whether that file has been staged or not. So it has been staged and it is saying to ready to be committed. It displays as a green text for us. So now I am going to commit. So if it says like, please tell me who you are, then just we need to configure the username and password. Now we will try to commit it. Yeah. So it says one file has been changed. So now we can push this file to our CodeCommit repository by issuing the command git push. So it has been successfully pushed to our master repository. So we can go to CodeCommit. And you can see my demo repo repository has been created. And you have that empty file as well. Now let's see the security best practices for AWS CloudShell. First thing is we need to use IAM permissions and policies to control access to AWS CloudShell so that we'll get a granular access like uploading or downloading of files can be restricted. And then you should not add sensitive data such as username, role, or session to IAM entities. Third one is we need to have keep safe space enabled so that it will detect potential security threat when copying the data or the text from the external sources. And then we should have a rollback mechanism before processing any shell script that affects the user shell experience. And then we should have a version control system like AWS CloudCommit when we are using our so that our code will be very much safer. Thank you for watching the session.